Emily Alexander was born to be an umpire. It wasn't until she was in her mid-20s that she more or less stumbled into the avocation. But once she dipped her toe into the officiating waters, she began to chart a course that would result in one of the most impressive and successful careers in all of officiating, not just softball umpiring. Her 40-year career has included such prestigious assignments as the Arizona Interscholastic Association State Championships, the National Junior College Championships, the AIAW, NAIA, and NCAA Women's College World Series, and a host of ASA National Championships. Not to mention such international events as the Pan American Games and the Olympics. Craig Cress, ASA Director of Membership Services, believes working the Atlanta Games in 1996 may have been her greatest accomplishment.
We've only had 4 Olympics and had umpires to go to the Olympics, and we've only had a total of 11 USA umpires in our Olympics. She is one of those 11. She is giving back to the game now as an administrator, as a trainer, as an assigner. But I think that Emily's greatest asset was when she was on the field as an umpire.
Emily distinguished herself on the world stage at the Olympics, yet she never forgot her roots. While such an assignment may have given other umpires an overinflated ego, Emily can easily transition to games played on small municipal fields. Her versatility and adaptability have allowed her to have an impact at multiple levels of the game.
You know, she knows about the college game and really cares about it. She really cares about the high school game and the recreational game. She's very active in the ASA JO program and stuff. And I think that's incredibly difficult to do because we have 3 sets of rules, 3 sets of mechanics, and I don't know how she keeps track of on a Tuesday you're doing this set of rules and on a Thursday that set, and she gets it all right.
I think the word passionate is probably the best word that I can use to describe her. And the fact that she was so well respected by her peers and by the officiating community that we have here in Arizona, and obviously nationally too. I realized at that point that Arizona softball officiating is in good hands with Emily Alexander.
In the early 1990s, Alexander became a trailblazer with a prestigious national assignment.
I had the pleasure to work with Emily at a men's major fast pitch national championship in 1994 in Palm Springs, California. To my knowledge, Emily is the only female ever to have worked the men's major fast pitch national championship. Again, she was a member of our crew. She was a regular umpire with us. She went out, she knew what her job was, she knew what she had to do. She was a good partner on the field and accepted very well by the players.
As good an umpire as Emily is, there was one occasion on which she was caught short.
She loves the desert and she loves the heat of the desert, and she hates being cold. Well, several years ago, we were working a softball game at Ohio State University, and it was a typical cold Midwestern spring day. And Ohio State had installed those high-powered torpedo heaters in the dugouts to keep the teams warm. In between innings, Emily kept running over and standing in front of the heater. Well, one inning, when Emily took her position on the field, I looked over and I could see that one pant leg was significantly shorter than the other. She had stood in front of the heater too close and had melted one pant leg so that it was about 6 inches shorter than the other leg. And she had to work out the rest of the ball game wearing one leg at high water level and the other at the normal level.
In addition to umpiring, Emily has been involved in the rules writing process. Her powers of persuasion were in full force during a meeting of the NCAA Softball Rules Committee.
When we were writing the rule book, we wanted to define the strike zone for the college game, and it was going to be a little different than the high school game and the ASA, which were in existence. And so we kind of mapped it out, and we had pictures and diagrams, the rule committee, and kind of had it all laid out of this is what it's going to do. And we took like probably 3 weeks to get all of this laid out of this is what the strike zone is going to be. And So we thought we had it planned out, and then Emily came in and said, no, strike zone's going to look like a Chevy sign. And I was like, what is that? You know, where'd that come from? She said, well, it needs to be wide, and it needs to be not so tall, not so, and you know, in like 5 minutes, she had taken all the work we had done for 3 weeks and just obliterated it.
Her on-field achievements alone would give Alexander a special place in the annals of officiating. And they certainly justify her induction into the ASA Hall of Fame. But what makes her a truly special individual is her willingness and ability to share what she's learned. The NCAA, ASA, and AIA have called upon Emily to serve as a clinician at dozens of umpiring training camps. And her techniques have also been filmed so that a wider audience could benefit from her training.
The umpire should establish a solid foundation behind the catcher with the feet approximately shoulder width apart. When in doubt, widen it out. The slot foot of the umpire should be forward on a line or slightly in front of a line drawn from the catcher's heels to the toe of the umpire.
Emily's outstanding judgment and mechanics were in full view for umpires in a pair of NCAA training videos.
Here's a foul tip that Emily thinks is a controlled catch, but because she senses doubt and may be partially blocked on the play, she immediately calls in her partners to make sure she got the call right. Decisive action such as this results in added confidence being generated for the crew and far fewer contested calls during a game. In this force play at second base, Emily also has started in the proper primary position, but because the runner's path has the potential to block her line of vision of the second base person's contact with the base, she adjusts her calling position to her right so she can clearly see all aspects of the play.
At various camps and clinics, her no-nonsense style of teaching has become an endearing trademark. No one who has ever received Emily's counsel has ever forgotten the experience.
Emily is like all umpires' favorite grade school teacher. She is firm, yet compassionate. She's straightforward and blunt when necessary. She has a great sense of humor, which she will use whenever she needs to get her point across.
Just Emily's ability on the field, her willingness to work with whatever umpire she might be working with, her willingness to go out and be just one of the guys, so to speak.
The assistance and support that she provides us in this state is, in one word, absolutely invaluable. She runs clinics. She has a website with just tons of information that officials can go there for resource to get all kinds of material. Her leadership, her guidance, her direction, you can't put a price on that from what she does. And Emily Alexander is the reason that Arizona softball umpiring has reached the excellence point. This is why we have great umpires in Arizona.
In addition to umpires, coaches have been the beneficiaries of her expertise and professional attitude.
And I remember one distinct thing about you the first time I met, and that was you were a student of the game back then. You were someone that not only officiated the game, but also wanted to talk about the game. And I can remember many a times going to you to find out rule changes. And one of the things that you suggested to me back in the early 80s was to have a little clinic with officials to go over rules and things like that with our players. And I've been doing that ever since. We started back in 1981.
The very first time I met Emily was actually at a ball diamond. I was coaching college Northern Illinois University team, and Emily was umpiring, and I remember going to the tournament, and we had some big-time umpires, Pac-10 folks that we hadn't really run into before, and our team was pretty excited about being there and the competition and everything. And I remember coming to the field, and the very first thing Emily took charge. She was a plate umpire, and she's like, this is what we're doing, this is how it's happening. It's like, oh good, I don't need to really think about much anything, because she was definitely a take charge person.
Her willingness to advance the sport and the avocation have brought Emily credibility throughout the officiating world and made her an invaluable resource to those in charge.
I cannot imagine my job as national coordinator without the advice and counsel of Emily Alexander. I can just turn over the entire umpire training and development area to Emily. She knows what the umpires need, and she just goes out and does it. The softball umpire improvement program would be a far different program without Emily Alexander's involvement, and I think it would be a lesser one.
40 years of safes and outs, balls and strikes, fair balls and foul balls. But beyond that, a selfless attitude, a wealth of knowledge, and a standard bearer for the officiating avocation. And one more thing, Gold Whistle Award recipient.
I just want to congratulate you on a tremendous honor, being honored by a group of people that I know you're so dearly close to, but the Gold Whistle Award is definitely an award that you truly deserve.
And on behalf of the Arizona Interscholastic Association, Emily Alexander, thank you for your journey. Thank you for all of your reflections. And most importantly, thank you for lighting candles. We are humbled in your presence. We're honored to have you in Arizona. Congratulations on this award. You deserve it. Thank you for representing Arizona.